Hi, I'm Peter Birch. Today we're going to look around at some of the small monitor species I'm currently working with, thanks to our good friends from Reptile One. Thanks for watching CrittaCam.
So what have we got here, Pete?
A nasty case of dead branch. Right, it's time for a new branch. So in this particular outdoor enclosure is where I keep these little beauties right here. I think they're probably one of the most spectacular looking lizards in Australia. Look at these gorgeous little beauties. Aren't they just a work of art?
They are.
They're absolutely gorgeous. Let that one go back in there. So these are the Kimberley rock monitors. A very agile, slim bodied animal. Very quick moving critter. And I mean, look at those markings. Distinctively like an Aboriginal rock art right there. Absolutely gorgeous. So these guys are being housed outside during the warmer months in a nice stack system, nice deep substrate.
And the ovaries are on wheels.
Yeah, on wheels, because we do get
for the bad days.
We do get a little bit of rain here at night sometimes, so you've got to be cautious about that. So it enables me to push it out in the day, the blaring sun. These guys, believe it or not, don't like the super heat that we sort of associate with most monitors. They do like a nice hot basking site, but they also like to have good refuge areas. So, and just like some of the other monitors, these guys will burrow as well. So they have a mixture of deep substrate, basking ledges, a sandbox, all sorts of cool stuff going on in here, as well as you've seen before, the branch. Now they do actually climb up. They'll get up on the wire, they'll get up and bask, they'll sit in the branches of the little tree there as well.
When you did first build these cages, didn't see them, then you've introduced
basically
branch.
What happened is, so you can imagine a stagnant environment like this, you're looking down on a monitor, instantly you are the predator, the prey item. They feel a little bit offensive. So what we did is I put some branches in there just to fluff up the cage and make them feel a little bit comfortable. And what happened almost instantly is the animals felt really relaxed, stayed out basking longer, were able to sit there. You could open the cage, lean in, interact with the animals. The animals will come up. They actually eat off tweezers, all these guys. So they'll feed off tweezers, and they'll even take out of your hands. They won't actually take your hands.
So it's a visual barrier. Yeah,
it became a visual barrier and let them know that, you know, we're not leaning down and going to attack them. It enabled them to become a little bit more comfortable in our presence. And these little enclosures are all homemade on wheels. Like I say, we can push them around. And the beauty of the big tub down below also allows them to feel a little bit more comfortable. So when you're walking past, they don't need to stress all the time. And the other good cool thing that we have is you can fill them up with water. So right next door here we've got another cage. It's like a potluck trying to find this guy, but he's usually floating around somewhere. We'll see if we can find him. So in here we've got a little bit of a different environment. And we've got this little double stage flap. There it goes. And it's not a frog.
I hear water.
No, it's a small Mertens water monitor. So once again,
he's a thrasher.
Yeah, oh, he'll calm down in a sec. So once again, you know, he does feel a little bit out in the open. He does like to hide. He does spend a lot of time in the water. And
that's what I found at home. My one will sleep in the water.
Yeah, they do.
To the point where you're like, holy crap.
And I mean, most people would look at this enclosure and go, oh my god, that is absolutely filthy and disgusting. But this guy is absolutely thriving outside here.
What is the duckweed?
Yeah, he's got plenty of duckweed in there.
It's a barrier.
The most invasive species, as you will ever know, is the duckweed. But as you know, as you said, you know, there's your visual barrier. He's in the water. He has that visual barrier of the duckweed, giving you that separation. He has plenty of basking opportunities here and up the top. And there's plenty of mornings you'll come out and you'll be sitting up basking early in the morning, grabbing those heat, and then he moves down.
You can almost set your clock by it.
Yeah, food's offered to him on this feeding ledge here, which he takes, and then he'll just disappear back into the water. There's a nice hollow log there.
On wheels, if you need to move it inside.
Water. If I need to drain it, there's a bung underneath, I can drain it. But inside this one here, I've actually got some AstroTurf that hangs down the edge, and it's a double layer, so you can get up in between the two layers. So I'll just let him have a close look at this guy. You know, besides his great personality, you know, gorgeous.
Takes all kinds, doesn't
Gorgeous little thing, yeah. And look at those nice orangey colours on him.
Again, he has the aquatic tail.
Yeah. That rudder-like tail.
Mm.
So we'll let him go back on his way, make him feel comfortable. Plonk him back in, as he does. Boom. Disappears.
Straight in the water.
Yep. So like I said, down here, we've got this AstroTurf. So the AstroTurf goes into the water.
Oh, I see.
As you can see.
Yeah.
But if I pull that AstroTurf up, there's a second layer of AstroTurf.
Okay.
And see, what he'll do is he'll get in between the two layers. One, he's still in the water. He thinks he's in the reeds or the edge of the bank.
Yeah.
And he'll get up in there and feel very comfortable hiding in between the two layers. A hollow log that's completely hollow, so he can come out of the water, go up that hollow log. He's got multiple areas he can bask from, or if he wants full exposure, he can come up here or down here, and which he does quite often.
That's awesome.
And he really likes it. And I mean, keeping inside's cool, but keeping outside I think is even better.
Yeah.
Talking about keeping inside, let's check out some of the other cool stuff.
The walkthrough.
Everyone asks all the time, how are we going with this project?
How are we going with that project?
I'm glad you asked, I've never heard that before. So here are some of our little Burano brevicorder. As you can see, gorgeous little critters right there.
Now we also get asked,
Feisty little fella.
as the door blows open, we also get asked a lot, how big is that cage?
How big is that cage? Well, I guess it's big enough for them to do everything they need to do. I mean, a few of the little brevies here, look at them. Now, with the brevicorder, unlike most monitors, it's about the depth of the substrate. So they do like deep substrate. They typically spend a lot of time digging and burrowing.
Is that a trade
underneath.
secret you're giving away?
Well, I don't know about the trade secret. I don't know if I can give it away if most people can't get them. So, yeah, I don't know. So, here's another little one. So yeah, we do have quite a few that we're growing out with bred. So for me as a breeder, I like to buy a couple, breed my own breeding stock and work from that, and that's exactly what we're doing here.
And so you're going well.
We've got a few little babies growing out, which is working out really well. And we've got some of our breeders down here. What's an adult size brevicorder look like? Good question. I'm glad you asked. So there's an adult. That's the adult female right there. As you can see, they're absolute monsters.
Mm. I can see why people like them.
Oh yeah, so can I. And that's probably the reason why I can't let go of any. But we are working with some other things like Primordius. So we're working with the Burano Primordius as well, so that's the second smallest. Or if you want to take into effect the new categorization of them. That's a depression in there trying to run away from me. So see if we get one of these little guys. So we try to set up the cages where they have plenty of opportunities to hide. It's not always the best cage for the keeper, but it's not about me, is it? It's about the animals.
Yeah.
The animals must feel secure and happy. Oh, you little punk. Come here. Pew, pew. Yep. Oh. So in this particular cage we're lucky because we've got
a couple of them.
There's 3 in here, so, and here's the male. So that's an adult male. So these guys do look bigger than the brevies, but because they've got the long tail, they definitely are much longer overall. And these are true small monitors. So these guys act like typical monitors.
Now, what I sent a question the other day about Gillen's monitors.
Yep.
And how you keep them.
Gillen's, okay.
How you set them up.
Gillen's are a more of an arboreal species. So a climbing species. And if we take notice of where these guys exist in their natural habitats, we'll realise that they prefer a lot of tree branches and stuff. just like my good mate here, Fingers, sitting up there basking right now. So these guys really love to be up and climbing around, and he's looking quite spectacular, aren't you, Fingers?
So more of a vertical cage as opposed to a terrestrial cage.
That's right. So you want to be a little bit more vertical, a little bit less floor space, but if it's higher and you add a lot of branches in there, it becomes three-dimensional, and you get all these extra air floor space anyway. And he's got a little bit of a chubby belly. But he's sitting up there basking. And with small monitors, you know, we've got to have warmer basking sites, bigger basking spots, depending on the size of the animal and all the rest of that cool stuff. A lot of those things need to be taken into consideration.
So in the wild, gillions are found...
The gillions are associated with dead trees, usually in the wild.
Yeah.
Getting under the bark, into the hollows. And we've got there's a couple in here, and one of them just crazily burrows deep. As you can see, one of our hollow logs. Like that.
Okay.
They just crazily burrow in there and hide in there and feel really comfortable, which is pretty cool.
So a lot of people that don't have access to that use
PVC pipes, or you can get PVC pipes with ruffles on the inside, like old drainage pipes. You can use cardboard, you can use anything really. A couple other small monitors that we're working with, well, the ridge-tailed monitors. So
let's go and check them out.
Enclosures. Right, so we're back. Not that we really went anywhere, but here we are, the ridge-tailed monitors. Beautiful creatures.
I don't know where they get their name from.
Very distinct tail, very rough.
What's another common name?
Well, I don't know. What's another common name? You tell me, man.
I don't know.
I'll call it ridge-tailed monitors. Ackies, for short. But these Burano acanthurus, I mean, look at those beautiful ocellates up and down its body there. Nice bright colours. Another little fatty.
Now here in Australia, if you have a yellowish one like that, that would indicate to me...
He's sucking in some air. So that's a defence mechanism right there, where he's sucking in air. You can see him getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
So he's sucking in air. So what typically these guys do in the wild, just like replicated here in his indoor enclosure, he's got shelves. So he'll get amongst those shelves. Typically in the wild it's rock crevices, and just like the Agurnias with their rough tails, they'll go in, they'll wedge themselves in, they'll then puff their bodies up. So this guy's sucking air at the moment, making himself look like a nice little cylinder. Making it a lot harder for you to extract them. So you can imagine trying to pull these guys out. You know, you're grabbing them by the tail, it's spiky, that's a defence mechanism.
And they pull their tail around too.
Yeah, you can see what he's doing right now. And they will use that tail as a defence weapon as well, so they will actually slap you across the eyes, and that's typically what they try and do, is give it a good whack and hopefully put you off and give them the opportunity to scurry away, because these guys are quite quick in the wild. But in captivity they become quite docile, quite amenable to handling, like a lot of the smaller monitors, and they do make pretty awesome little pets, just like this guy here.
And now that colour, like I was saying, I would associate that with Mount Isa.
Yeah, you get yellows and reds, so depending on the colours, depending on the areas, usually the localities. There is a couple of different ones in there, all inhabiting different rock ledges, and just like we spoke about before, these guys, like most monitors, need additional heating. So typically when we're thinking about keeping reptiles like blue tongues, we look at 30 to 30 plus, around that area. Whereas most of the monitors,
degrees Celsius.
Yeah, most of the monitors do like to be kept at about 55 degrees Celsius upwards. So depending on the animal, some like it 65, some will like it 75, and that's really where we want to maintain their temperatures. Helps for them to maintain that perfect metabolism of eating, digestion, and crapping out the really good stuff. But also because of that, you can actually get lizards that mate, and you can get eggs within 19 days. So that's a pretty fast metabolism when you compare to things like bearded dragons, which we usually consider high temperature animals that can be kept at, you know, high 30s, low 40s, and you know, they'll mate and lay eggs around about 30 odd days, and they can do that 2 or 3 times a year. Like I say, monitors are really built to gorge themselves, so when they get the opportunity, they really power feed themselves. So these guys are kept inside in this rack system. So the rack system is a well-known rack system that works all over across the world, which is really awesome. Now we've actually started using it with these guys. These guys are another mid-bodied animal monitor, and hopefully I don't get eaten alive today.
I hope you do.
Not that I say that, because typically these guys aren't a bad animal. So once again, indoor enclosures. These guys have got really fine nails, and just got one right inside a little cut there, which was awesome. And you can see the arboreal species. Hopefully it doesn't take a bite out of me. But one thing cool about these guys, these are the rusty monitors. Oh yeah, you can see it really digging into the skin there.
I could hear that.
So not only have they got these really fine nails that dig deep into my skin right now, but what I'm trying to show you is the tail. So the tail is
an aquatic
very ridged or raised, just like a Merton's. Oh, straighten that wound again. He knows where it is. So it enables these guys to swim quite easily and move amongst the water. So you know, these guys are living in those awesome sort of
mangroves.
Oh yeah, the mangroves, the salt mangroves. So typically in the wild, these guys would be eating things like mud crabs, little mud crabs, small fish, and all the rest of that sort of stuff. These guys do prefer a real protein-based diet compared to the other guys. They will eat a lot of insect-based stuff, whereas these guys really dig the protein, and really digging into my flesh right now. An absolute gorgeous animal. And this is an adult male right here. A beautiful, beautiful animal. I really like that pink tinge sort of face.
Yeah, cool.
Really nice sized body. And I mean, look at that.
There's not a lot of them in the hobby, is there?
No, they came into the hobby and everyone went crazy, and then no one really bred them, so then everyone got bored of them. But, you know, just a gorgeous little animal. Needs a really good representation in the hobby, and something we're working with outdoor and indoor enclosures. And oh, the way that guy keeps going, maybe my arm will become part of the outdoor enclosure. So I definitely had a bit of pin pricking right there. Look at that. It's really got me.
Standard.
Really nice. Hope you enjoyed having a look at my cool monitors today. Make sure you give us a like, hit that button below. Make sure you continue to join the adventure. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, thanks for watching CrittaCam.